The economy added 431,000 jobs in March, bringing the unemployment rate to a new pandemic low. But will this latest report prompt the Fed to raise rates more aggressively? Let's bring in former Dallas Fed President Richard Fisher. He's now a senior advisor to Barclays, serves on the board of Tenet Healthcare, and is a CNBC contributor. Richard, we welcome, and it's good to see you. We've been saying that the going could get a little tougher with where we are right now, and with maybe a lot of the rebound from the reopening. Maybe we've seen most of that, and these job gains could be tougher to come by at this point. And I guess to induce people to come back to work and participation rate, you might see some wage pressure that could also add to inflation, which the Fed doesn't want.
Well, you're already seeing that, Joe. One of the key data points here, continuing claims for unemployment are at a 50-year low. I mean, we have, through February, we have been reaching economic nirvana. And then we had two tectonic shifts that took place in March. The first is the land war in Europe, Russia, Ukraine, and how that's rippling through already, I think, sending the European economies into recession. We'll see what the data shows as we get through the second quarter. And the other is the shift in Fed policy. No longer expanding the balance sheet and starting to raise rates. So this is just settling, and it should, of course, slow things down. But when you think of an unemployment rate of 3.6%, you know, I remember my last speech I gave at the Fed in 2015, 6% was considered to be a non-inflationary break-even point. So we've got a lot of air cover here, as I like to say, and the Fed's going to have to move. Inflation, Joe, is like kudzu. It can grow, take over, and kill everything underneath it. So they're going to have to act. They're going to have to be forceful. They're going to have to be continual. And I think we'll see that. We'll see what comes out in the meetings. It'll be the minutes that will be released for the last meeting this Wednesday. And also we'll see what Lael Brainerd has to say tomorrow. Both are going to be important events.
Compared to Europe, maybe we should feel great, Richard. I mean, I'm trying to think of what that means. So you go into a recession and you're paying how much to heat your home? And that ripples through everything else. That's like that sounds like a description of horrific stagflation.
Remember, I used to always say, Joe, that we were the U.S. was the best-looking horse in the glue factory. We are Secretariat at Belmont in 1979. We're 33 lengths ahead of the Europeans. However, what happens in Europe can come and roll over and infect us, so we have to be very careful here. The rest of the world is clearly slowing down. China's slowing down. Europe is slowing down. And we will start to slow, but again, we've been at almost a perfect point in terms of employment, and now we have to deal with this inflation dragon, and it has to be slayed. I think there's a lot of room to act, to do the right thing. Last thing Jay Powell wants to be is Arthur Burns. So there's a lot of room to act here, and I think the yield curve's already priced all this stuff in, so they have air cover there as well. We'll see.